Have you ever looked in the mirror and asked yourself, why does my skin seem to be aging so fast? Even though you're still using skincare, getting enough sleep, eating healthy. Yet each day, your skin seems a little more dull, a little less vibrant. Fine lines quietly appear around your eyes, your mouth. And the strangest part? You don't feel older inside, but your face can't seem to hide the signs of time. You may have never thought about this, but there's a silent culprit accelerating your skin's aging, and you're probably consuming it every single day. It's not in your face cream, it's not from the sun. It's right there in that harmless, sweet breakfast you enjoy every morning. That culprit is sugar. Now, sugar isn't all bad, but if misunderstood and misused, it can quietly break down your collagen, destroy your skin's natural elasticity, and make you look older, far earlier than you should. In this video, I'm going to share with you why sugar is your skin's worst enemy, and why most people don't even realize it. The hidden sugars lurking in foods we think are healthy. And most importantly, how to stay youthful without giving up all the sweetness in life. This isn't just about skincare. It's about reconnecting with your natural beauty, radiating from within, and waking up to a more intentional way of living. So, are you ready? Let's peel back the sweet and sometimes bitter truth behind that little spoonful of sugar. 1. The silent saboteur: how sugar secretly ages your skin. If someone asked you what causes your skin to age the fastest, you might think of sunlight, pollution, or even lack of sleep. But very few people ever mention sugar. Yet not accidents, not age, but that sweet indulgence we gift ourselves every day. In your morning latte, in the little treat after lunch, in a few sips of soda after a long day. Here's the problem. When sugar enters your body, it doesn't stop at just providing energy. It quietly sparks a biological reaction called glycation, where sugar molecules attach to collagen and elastin in your skin, turning them into stiff, brittle, and inflexible strands. The result? Fine lines show up sooner, skin begins to sag, and that healthy glow starts to fade, even if you're diligently applying skincare. A friend of mine, Julie, 44 years old, didn't smoke, didn't drink, and appeared to eat quite healthily. But she had one persistent habit: a latte and pastry every morning, a healthy granola bar in the afternoon, and a bit of chocolate after dinner. She thought she was being balanced, until one day she looked at an old photo and gasped, "Why do I look 10 years older in just 3? She had a skin scan done at a clinic. The results? A dramatic drop in collagen levels. Her skin's elasticity was lower than that of a woman 10 years her senior. The doctor gently said, "Julie, sometimes the issue isn't age, it's what we eat every single day." The lesson here isn't that you need to give up all sugar. It's about understanding the dark side of sweetness and making informed, loving choices. Sugar doesn't age you overnight, but it can quietly steal away your youthful appearance, bit by bit, if you don't recognize how often it sneaks into your daily life. And the truth is, it's not just the obviously sweet foods we need to worry about. There are sugars hiding cleverly in places you'd never expect, slowly making your skin duller with each bite. Do you want to know what those sneaky, sugary imposters are? Let's uncover them together in the next section. 2. Sugar and skin, glycation and age. When we talk about wrinkles or aging skin, we often blame it on time. But the truth is, there's a biological process happening inside your body, and sugar is at the center of it. Our bodies are intelligent systems, but they're also incredibly sensitive to excess. When you consume a lot of sugar, glucose in your bloodstream doesn't just fuel your cells, it starts attaching to proteins, especially collagen, the protein that keeps your skin firm, plump, and elastic. This process is called glycation, and when it happens, it produces compounds known as AGEs, advanced glycation end products. Just as the name suggests, these are the toxic leftovers of glycation, and they dramatically accelerate skin aging. AGs clump up collagen fibers, making them stiff, brittle, and prone to breakdown. Instead of a smooth, silky texture, your skin starts to feel like crumpled fabric, dull, fragile, and slow to recover from inflammation. I once worked with a longtime client, Sarah. She was vegan, practiced yoga daily, and lived what most would call a clean lifestyle. But each day, she added 3 spoonfuls of syrup to her coffee, drank smoothies with ripe mango, and snacked on dried fruits coated in honey. She thought she was eating well, until a skin test showed that her elasticity index was similar to someone nearly 10 years older. She looked down and whispered, "I never imagined that all that sweetness was making my skin so sad." And what she learned, and what I hope you take with you, is this. Not everything that says natural or organic is good for you in excess. Even the most innocent-looking sugar, when consumed daily, can quietly destroy the very thing you're trying to preserve, your glow. And what's worse, most of us are being affected by sugar, without even knowing it. We often think it's just candy, soda, or cake. But the truth is far more subtle than that. There are sweet traps embedded in our everyday diet, wrapped in convenience, disguised as health. Let's peel them back one by one in the next part. 3. It's not just dessert. Hidden sugars in everyday foods. When people say they've cut sugar, they usually mean no more cake, no soda, no candy. But here's the real issue. Sugar isn't just in sweets. It hides cleverly. And often it wears the costume of healthy food. You'd be surprised how many everyday items, seemingly harmless, are packed with sugar. A bottle of store-bought orange juice? Up to 6 teaspoons of sugar. A morning granola bowl? Easily 15 grams or more. Even ketchup or plant-based milk labeled natural can sneak in enough sugar to dull your skin and inflame your body. I had a client who was fully committed to eating clean. She ate salads daily, low-fat yogurt, and drank fruit smoothies. She didn't touch desserts. Yet her skin continued to break out and lose brightness. So we sat down and reviewed her food journal. And what we found shocked her. Every healthy item she consumed, from honey-laced salad dressings to energy bars and dried fruits, was packed with hidden sugars. That was the first time she realized, low fat doesn't mean low sugar. Natural doesn't mean harmless. Organic doesn't mean anti-aging. What matters most is what's actually inside the label, not what's printed on the outside. And her takeaway, one you can begin today, is simple. Read labels. Look for ingredients like glucose, fructose, corn syrup, maltose. Because sometimes, the thing sabotaging your skin isn't the birthday cake. It's the 100% natural juice you sip every morning. Still not sure if food truly affects your skin? Science has something to say about that. Let's dive into the research in the next section, and what it reveals might change the way you look at sugar forever. 4. Sugar versus skin. What research really says. Some truths we feel intuitively, like how our skin gets worse after a week of poor eating. But some truths are backed by cold, hard data, microscopes, studies, and hours of lab research. And science is loud and clear. Sugar accelerates skin aging. A study published in the British Journal of Dermatology found that the higher your blood glucose levels, the lower your skin's elasticity. In fact, people with elevated blood sugar showed more sagging, more fine lines, regardless of age. Why? Because excess glucose leads to the formation of AGs, those collagen-stiffening, wrinkle-causing compounds we talked about earlier. They also trigger chronic low-grade inflammation in skin tissues, slowing repair and leaving the skin more vulnerable to damage. A dermatologist I once worked with told me about 2 women, both aged 38. One lived in a rural area, ate simple home-cooked meals, and rarely consumed sweets. The other lived in the city, worked in media, and regularly indulged in boba tea, cakes, and takeout. Skin analysis revealed a dramatic difference. The second woman had nearly 30% less collagen density, lower moisture retention, and elevated oxidative stress markers. The doctor simply said, "You don't need anti-aging creams if you just stop aging yourself through food." And that's the key message of this part. Skincare doesn't begin with products. It begins at the dinner table. So, how do you know if your skin is already crying out for help from too much sugar? Let's listen in the next section. 5. Signs your skin is screaming. Too much sugar. Our bodies always know how to send signals. The real question is, are we truly listening? And your skin, more than any other part of you, is a mirror. It reflects what's happening inside, clearly, consistently, and often quietly. When you consume too much sugar, your skin doesn't stay silent. It speaks, in its own way. And these are signs you should never ignore. Your skin starts to look dull, losing its natural radiance. Like a thin gray veil has settled over your face, even when you've had enough sleep. Fine lines begin to appear early, especially around your mouth, eyes, and forehead, places where weakened collagen shows first. Your skin feels dry, tight, sometimes flaky, and becomes more sensitive to changes in weather. Tiny breakouts and underlying inflammation start forming, especially on the chin or forehead, often triggered by insulin imbalance and internal irritation. And perhaps the most frustrating part, your skin stops healing like it used to. Small cuts, pimples, or dark spots take far longer to fade, a sign that repair is slowing down beneath the surface. Someone once messaged me in frustration, asking why her skin kept getting worse despite all her efforts. She said she was using expensive serums, sleeping enough, drinking lots of water. Yet she still had breakouts, dry patches, and persistent hyperpigmentation. Then her nutritionist asked her one simple question. Have you ever tried cutting out sugar? That question shook her. She decided to eliminate sweets, bottled juices, and granola bars for just 3 weeks. And what happened was surprising, even to her. Her skin started glowing again. It felt smoother, less tight after washing, and her usual breakouts slowly faded. That's when she realized. What was missing in her skincare journey wasn't more products. It was removing the very things silently working against her from the inside. Sometimes, wisdom doesn't come from adding more. It comes from recognizing what needs to be released, so healing can begin. But if sugar can do that much harm, is there anything we can do to fight back? Are there nutrients, foods, or habits that can undo, or at least protect us, from the damage sugar causes? The answer lies ahead, and it might just be the shield your skin has been waiting for. 6. Sugar detox mistakes. Why healthy choices might still be aging. Once people realize sugar is one of the hidden culprits behind aging skin, many decide to take action, to detox, to get radiant from within. It sounds simple, but sadly, many fall into the same traps, even when they're trying their best. One of the most common mistakes is replacing refined sugar with natural sweeteners, but using them excessively. They drink fruit juices every morning, snack on date bars, drizzle honey into tea, or blend tropical fruits into smoothies. Yes, these are better than white sugar in theory, but in large amounts, they still raise insulin, trigger inflammation, and accelerate glycation in your skin. Another trap? Going for sugar-free or low-fat products, which often contain artificial sweeteners or fast-digesting starches to make up for the taste. These ingredients can mess with your blood sugar, hormones, and, you guessed it, your skin. I once spoke with a young woman who had given up cakes, milk tea, and desserts, but she was still drinking 3 cold-pressed juices a day made with mango, pineapple, and grapes. She believed it was packed with vitamins. But after 2 months, instead of a glow-up, she was breaking out around her chin and dealing with unexpected oiliness. When we reviewed her routine, it became clear. Her juice habit was giving her more sugar than a can of soda. She sighed and said, "I was trying to be healthier, but I ended up making my skin worse." And the real lesson is this: not everything labeled healthy is good for you, unless it's in the right form and right amount. Detoxing from sugar doesn't mean switching from one type of sweet to another. It means learning to read nutrition labels, watching total sugar intake, and above all, listening to your body more than trendy wellness advice online. So if it's easy to go wrong with sugar detox, what's the right way to support your skin? Let's discover nature's true anti-aging defenders, the real foods and nutrients that help your skin heal from the inside out. 7. The anti-glycation arsenal. Foods and nutrients that fight back. Once you understand how glycation stiffens your collagen and accelerates aging, you'll likely ask the next big question. Can we slow it down? Maybe even reverse the damage? The answer is yes. Nature, as always, has given us quiet protectors. There are certain nutrients and foods that actively fight glycation, neutralize free radicals, and support your skin's regeneration process. First on the list, vitamin C. It not only brightens your skin, but also protects your collagen and helps the body rebuild elastin. You'll find it in oranges, kiwis, strawberries, or even in a warm glass of lemon water to start your day. Next, we have EGCG, a powerful antioxidant found in green tea. Think of it as your gatekeeper, blocking the formation of AGEs and calming inflammation in the skin. A cup of unsweetened green tea every afternoon can do far more than boost your focus. It can be a gift to your skin. There's also alpha-lipoic acid, ALA, found in spinach, broccoli, and beef liver. It's like the skin's janitor, cleaning up oxidative stress and byproducts from sugar metabolism. And don't forget curcumin, the golden compound in turmeric. It's a potent anti-inflammatory, and when paired with black pepper for better absorption, it becomes a strong ally in any anti-aging routine. I once encouraged a client to start simple. Every morning, she blended a smoothie with broccoli, orange, a bit of fresh ginger, turmeric, and mint leaves. She didn't expect miracles. She just wanted to eat cleaner. But after 6 weeks, she noticed her skin was smoother, less red, and her dark spots had faded. She smiled and said, "For the first time in years, my skin feels like it's responding to my kindness." And that's what's truly worth remembering. Anti-aging doesn't come from magic. It comes from small daily choices, repeated with care. Like what you eat for breakfast, or the kind of tea you sip while watching the sunset. But there's one more factor that affects your skin just as deeply as sugar does. It's not something you eat, but something you feel. The kind of thing you turn to sweets for when you're stressed, lonely, or overwhelmed. It's time we talk about stress and how it can trap your skin in the same toxic cycle. Let's go deeper next. 8. Sugar and stress, the toxic cycle that affects your skin and mind. There's a delicate connection between your emotions and your skin, and sugar is often the dangerous bridge that links the two. When you're stressed, tired, or overwhelmed, many of us instinctively reach for something sweet. A chocolate bar, a bubble tea, a soft, buttery cookie that makes us feel okay, at least for a few minutes. That comfort isn't random. When you're under stress, your body produces cortisol, a hormone that heightens anxiety and makes you feel out of control. To cope, your brain craves dopamine, the feel-good chemical. And sugar? It delivers that dopamine hit fast. With just one spoonful, you feel better. But behind the scenes, insulin spikes, inflammation flares, and your skin starts reacting. Then the cycle begins. Stress, sugar, inflammation, bad skin, low confidence, more stress. And on it goes. I once spoke with a young mother working 2 jobs to care for her toddler. She told me that every night after putting her child to bed, she would eat a few cookies, just to feel okay. But within a few weeks, she noticed breakouts, dry patches, and dark circles under her eyes. She tried creams, changed face wash, visited the spa, but nothing worked. When we finally talked, she broke down and said, "I don't eat to feel pretty. I eat to survive. But the more I eat, the worse I feel." That's when she realized what she needed wasn't sugar. What she really needed was gentleness. She started small. A 10-minute morning walk, listening to soft music before bed, writing down 3 things she was grateful for every day. No, not everyone can quit sugar overnight, but you can change the kind of sweetness you give yourself. Instead of eating sugar to feel better, try turning toward the things that genuinely warm your heart from within. And here's the beautiful truth. When you're kinder to yourself, your skin listens. It glows in return, not just from the outside, but from deep within. But if you're still wondering whether small changes can really make a big difference, let the next chapter show you what happens when people actually try it. 9. Real-life glow-ups. What happens when you ditch sugar for 30 days? We've talked a lot about sugar, the science, the inflammation, the hidden dangers. But nothing is more powerful than real results. From real people. In one real challenge. 30 days without sugar. The changes don't happen overnight. But within a couple of weeks, your body begins to whisper, "Thank you." In just 7 to 10 days, many people notice their skin gets less oily and breakouts begin to fade. By week 2, under-eye shadows lighten, and there's a noticeable morning glow they haven't seen in years. By day 30, something shifts. It's not just clearer skin, it's better sleep, fewer mood swings, deeper energy, and a newfound lightness in how they carry themselves. One 47-year-old woman I worked with took on the challenge after years of dull skin, stubborn acne, and constant fatigue. She cut out refined sugar, ditched bottled juices, swapped snacks for nuts, replaced diet soda with water. On day 10, she messaged, "I think I'm starting to see a little light in the mirror." By day 30, she sent 2 photos, before and after. No filter, no makeup, just a smoother face, a brighter tone, and eyes that looked alive. She said, "I didn't think 30 days could change this much, but I got back more than just my skin. I got back me." The lesson here isn't that you have to be perfect. It's that every small choice you make today, every mindful moment, is building the next version of you. One that feels better, looks healthier, and lives brighter. So start gently. 1 week with no soda. 3 days without pastries. 1 morning without sugar in your coffee. You'll be amazed at what your body can do when you stop fueling it like a machine that runs on sugar. And once you've gone far enough on this journey, you'll realize you don't need to give up sweetness. You just need to choose the kind that helps you shine from the inside out. So let's end this journey with something soft, something kind. Not a warning against sugar, but a reminder of what self-love can look like in its sweetest form. 10. The sweet truth, choosing the right kinds of sweetness. After all we've explored, one thing becomes clear. Sugar isn't the villain. It's simply a part of life. Like sunshine, too little, and you miss out. Too much, and you burn. Your body doesn't need you to eliminate all sweetness. It just needs a smarter kind of sweet. One that brings joy without costing your skin or health. Instead of refined sugar, you can reach for fresh fruits, especially berries. Low in sugar, high in antioxidants. Raw honey, a gentle, soothing touch in tea, not something to drown your meals in. Cinnamon, vanilla, or raw cacao. Natural flavors that offer a sweet warmth without the crash. And if you love dessert, try 85% dark chocolate. Plain yogurt with sliced banana, a green juice with a little green apple. Sweet, refreshing, and kind to your body. I have a friend who used to say, "I can't survive without something sweet every day." She loved bubble tea and pastries, but when she began to shift, she found sweetness in new places. A quiet sunset with a warm cup of tea. A song that made her smile. The confidence in her own eyes when she looked in the mirror each morning. She realized, the sweetness that keeps you young isn't always on your tongue. Sometimes it's in your habits. And often, the sweetest thing is feeling in control of your own life. This isn't a strict command. It's a gentle invitation. Choose the sweetness that doesn't cost your glow, your balance, or your health. Because staying youthful isn't about defying time. It's about refusing to age yourself with every spoonful. And if today you start by simply listening to your body, 1 less scoop of sugar, 1 more sip of water, 1 kinder choice, your skin will smile back at you in a way that's real, radiant, and truly yours. Are you ready to rewrite your relationship with sugar? If this video spoke to you, leave a comment below and share your story. And don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss future videos, where we explore how to live young, live well, and live beautifully from the inside out. Thank you for walking this journey with me. You deserve a glowing face and a life full of sweetness, the kind that loves you back.